Hi, I'm Sabine, the Purpose Lawyer. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast. It really goes a long way. It helps us spread the good word. And if you or anybody you know is in the market for legacy or estate planning or business or trademarks, please reach out to our firm. It's the Ambitious Legacy Firm. We are licensed in New York and New Jersey, but we have service partners in all states. So we'd love to work with you. Asset protection, legacy planning, trademarks. We got you. All right. So it's the ambitiouslegacyfirm.com. Now let's get into the episode. Welcome to another episode of the Ambitious Legacy Podcast. I'm your host, Sabine, the Purpose Lawyer. Thank you for listening and thank you for helping me be on purpose. All right, guys. So today it's going to be a really short episode, but I found something that was really cool and I just had to come on and share it with you. So many of you don't know that Apple has a new feature that allows you to leave a legacy, essentially. So it's called a legacy contact within your iPhone. And what it is that you're actually giving somebody authority if something should happen to you that they can kind of get into your phone. So think about it. When people pass away, sometimes even their closest loved ones don't have access to their devices. And imagine there's like pictures on there and other emotional memories and things like that that they would like to get access to. And even though like with planning, we sort of, put this give authority to either your trustee or your executor to be able to go and access your digital assets and your digital content. But logistically, it's not really that easy, right? When you think about it, does Apple want to now review people's trusts and wills and deal with courts to just like give someone authority to get access to your phone? Because I was thinking to myself, why are they doing this, right? That's one theory, that they don't really want to deal with the legalities of it. But how do you actually do this? So if you go to your phone, you have to have iOS 5.2 to be able to do it. You go to settings, and then you go to, you put in your name and your password or what have you. You got to scroll down all the way down, and then it's legacy contact, right? You can add up to 5 people. So your spouse or significant other, children, whatever, best friends, you could add them there. And then you can send them either a text message or you could give them a QR code where they have like a key, essentially. So the key will allow them, if something happens to you, they can go to a particular website and they can access your content from your phone or get into your phone, however it works. And it was super easy. Like I did it with my family. I sent it to my husband and my daughter. Actually, I added my husband and my daughter, but I sent both of the contacts to my husband because my daughter doesn't need to do that. But the funny thing is they can't do anything unless you pass away, because they have to submit a death certificate to be able to also, like, they got to upload a death certificate. And that could be tricky because not everybody could just get your death certificate. But in any event, it's a really good thing. And, I'm not sure why Apple is doing this. Like I said, I had that one theory. And then it brought to my mind this other story about this billionaire he died with $500 million in crypto. And nobody knew like where his keys were, access nobody knows. So $500 million in crypto. Can you imagine like just floating around out there and nobody knows? So this whole digital thing is, and you guys have heard me talk about this, right? It reminds me of when I spoke to Armando and Inf about, how everything is becoming digital, and now we have to find new ways to protect assets, and we have to find, new ways to sort of cover things that weren't an issue in the past, right? Because with your keys and your ID and all that stuff, it's kind of difficult because they're private and you're not really supposed to share them. But if you don't share them, then nobody can get them. All right, it's a rant. Sorry. But really, I want to share that with you about this whole Apple thing. I thought it was cool. So make sure you go into your phone, you set up your legacy contacts so that, if something happens to you, your loved ones could kind of get information. And what you could do now is really, include within that, some important information like who's your lawyer, maybe who's your doctor, if that's relevant, or who do they need to contact to get access to your assets. That's probably one of the most valuable things that would do, because a lot of times when we create plans for people, they need to let people know that it exists. And sometimes they don't want to do that, right? One of the most common things that I get when people call, they'll say, I'm not, someone so and so passed away. I'm not sure if there's a will. Or, or I heard there's a will, but I don't know where it is, And it's like, if you do the planning and nobody knows where it is, then that's, you basically didn't do the planning, right? So you want to make sure that you communicate that. And this would be a really cool way to say, hey, contact my lawyer. They have my will, or this is where my will can be found, So I could just see this like really, expanding. Hopefully Apple calls me to give them some insight on what they should do. If you know someone at Apple, just definitely make that connection for your girl. All right. So I hope this was helpful for you. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening.